This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan. With your host, Bradley Summers. And get the latest from Alpena Community College with ACC President Dr. Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm your host, Bradley Summers, and today our first guest is Adam Pohl, Executive Director from the Alpena Area Chamber of Commerce.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you for being here. Always excited to talk about what's going on at the Chamber. I know this time of year, as with most parts of the year, you're very busy, but this time of the year, there's a lot of different focus on some of the bigger holidays that are coming up, and of course, some of your LeaderCast opportunities for professionals in our community to come together to learn some really important aspects to take back to work with them. But first thing I want to talk about is a little bit about the grub crawl that you recently just had last Thursday.
Yeah, fantastic. So ultimately, we're very much, it's seemingly going very well. We're excited to really display the full culinary expertise of the Alpena area. We have so many locations, and our goal is to really just have people experience maybe somewhere where they wouldn't have gone before or just didn't think about. So ultimately, we just want to make sure that everyone gets to enjoy a wonderful evening of different food in Alpena and see all the wonderful things that we have here, which is more than even I would have thought of.
Well, and having the priority of the economic development of our community and really, partnering and collaborating with so many different businesses, for-profit, non-profit, it's such a great event because it brings exposure to all of those places, as you were, touching on as well. But it's just a great opportunity for people maybe that are new to the area, or others who have been here their whole lives or coming back, just to see the great things that are going on and to be part of such a really fun group of individuals going out and doing these things.
Yeah, and it's an awesome event. I mean, we have a lot, obviously our share of our locals, but we also have people coming from out of town just to experience this. And it really, it's just a great opportunity to, again, get to explore various aspects that you may not see at any given time. And we have at least 3 or 4 new additions to the grub crawl that haven't participated in previous years. So in that regards, it's awesome. It just did a great opportunity, and a great opportunity for a lot of people to meet people that they wouldn't necessarily meet. Yeah. So we're as a chamber, we're all about bringing people together, and this is just one really fun way to do that.
Yeah, and it's such a testament to you and your team and the leadership that you're providing that, more people are jumping on board. And as you were saying just before we actually came on to tape this morning, was that you actually almost sold out of tickets as well.
Yeah, so, we've had a very good turnout. It's one of those things that, the community rather clearly supports it, and we are thrilled of the community support of this event and other chamber events. And we've had a really great year. I think everyone's really excited to be just back out and getting together with each other. So again, we specialize in bringing people of all walks and manners together. So we're very happy to any opportunity we have, and we'd love to give people more opportunities.
Well, shifting focus from the community events that people get to go out and eat some great food and things like that, even though there's food provided. But it's talking about the professional development opportunities in the community and the LeaderCast programs that are offered through the Chamber in collaboration with a lot of different individuals. I know one of the focuses is the hybrid workforce. One of the upcoming training that's coming up in October is there's a focus on some hybrid workforce or environments. Talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. Obviously, as a chamber, we represent. We are funded by our business members. They are what helps us do day-to-day and provide these different leadership opportunities. And this particular one, as you mentioned, we have an opportunity to discuss kind of the hybrid workforce. Well, what does that mean? Obviously, with recent events, a lot more people are working from home or remotely. So how does that work? How does that function in our business community? And we really want to emphasize that, hey, here are some best practices, and we want to essentially connect our businesses with the experts that have been dealing with this and have a little more potential knowledge and just something to share. So give them opportunities, whether they choose or not to pursue it, but ultimately just any kind of leadership training we can do is beneficial, and our businesses see the value in that. So we are very happy to just give this, again, opportunity for these businesses to participate if they choose to.
You know, and in the long run, it makes our community a much stronger place by being able to support and collaborate more as teams. You know, it strengthens those organizations, and you know, it's so imperative that we, you know, continue to have that professional development as, you know, leaders in the community and people that, you know, are looking for those opportunities. It's
Sure.
great that you present that.
Yeah, and absolutely. I mean, everyone knows it's a big world out there, and our businesses, you know, they can have an amazing business just staying local, but a lot of them are trying to figure out how to go beyond, and especially in the age of the internet and the worldwide connection that we now have, how to take advantage of that and how to just, you know, put your business out there in the best way possible, and also adjust to different trends. And that's what, you know, if you're not trying to keep in space with the business industry nationwide or worldwide for that matter, you know, you might get left behind. And we're certainly trying to make sure everyone's informed, and they're doing their own thing too, but we're just trying to give one more opportunity for them to just learn a little bit more.
Absolutely. And another way for people to learn a little bit more about their community as well are the opportunities that you have with the Good Midday lunches that are going on. Good Midday Alpena lunches that are going on as well. The next one you have is on October 5th.
Yes, absolutely. So we are very much looking forward. We do those generally about monthly, and either it's a good morning Alpena or a good midday Alpena. We change them up just to include as many people as we can, and we always try to make sure there's some sort of educational prospect in there. This last one we did was the United Way kickoff. They're just a fantastic community organization that is very beneficial to our community. So we try to make sure that everyone's aware of the different nonprofits, as well as just other educational stuff. You know, we mentioned previously remote work, but you know, it might be human resources, it might be economic development. Our topic might be social media. So we just try to make sure that when you walk away from, not only do you get a good opportunity to network at these opportunities, but you also have an opportunity to learn something along the way, and hopefully you walk out knowing a little bit more than you walked in.
Awesome. Well, I can't believe it's already the end of our segment. I can believe it because when we talk, we talk for a while, and there's always so many important things that are going on. Next time you come on, I'd really like to talk about obviously some more of the good morning or mid or lunch opportunities, some of your leader casts, of course, the community parade that's coming up, and the community trip that you have to Iceland, which we'll be really excited to talk about.
Certainly. Iceland's going to be very fun for a lot of people involved. So we're looking forward to that, but I look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow morning when we drop off our kids at school.
Absolutely. I look forward to it, as usual.
Thank you so much, my friend, for being here. Stay tuned after the break. With Tracy Hale from Youth Volunteer Corps International. Welcome back, everyone. Our next guest is a very special guest to not only the Boys and Girls Club of Alpena, but to our volunteer services that we look and strive to provide in our community. Our next guest here is Tracy Hale, the Chief Executive Officer with the Youth Volunteer Corps International Program based in Kansas City, Missouri. Hi, Tracy.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. I'm glad that it was able to align where you're able to be on the show while coming to visit the wonderful Youth Volunteer Corps program that is affiliated with the Boys and Girls Club here in town. Yes. You know, it's just as a basis for, you know, individuals that are out there, you know, of understanding the Youth Volunteer Corps program it's been in existence since 1982.
1987.
1987. Oh, I'm so sorry. 1987. It's been an affiliate with Boys and Girls Club has been an affiliate with the Youth Volunteer Corps since 1992, and it's been and it started with the Alpena Community College. It was there for about 4 to 5 years, and then the Boys and Girls Club of Alpena absorbed it, and since 1996, it's been a staple program and a strong part of the Boys Boys and Girls Club mission every year, really getting those kids, as I like to say, becoming more in tune with the community and understanding the needs of others and giving back in a meaningful and impactful way.
Absolutely.
You know, with all that being said, you know, and the 300 million plus hours, is it 300 million or 500 million?
5 million.
5
million hours.
5 million hours and 300,000 volunteers since 1987.
Correct.
Absolutely incredible. You know, the output and the support that, you know, you're putting forward as the Chief Executive Officer, but just amazing what it's done to impact so many different communities throughout the country. And the international part is Canada and your new affiliate in Uganda.
Correct.
Talk a little bit about the importance of not only just helping, you know, just in the United States, but, you know, being part of something as big as being in Uganda now.
Sure. Well, the great thing about Youth Volunteer Corps is that we are able to really help our youth see a different perspective and to change what they see in their community. So rather than seeing a problem and kind of ignoring it and getting back on their phones, they're able to see, hey, there's a problem and I am empowered to solve that problem, and it is my responsibility to solve that problem. And so coming up with service projects to address that. When we take that to Uganda, we see a very different perspective. In Uganda, it is very common for people to not have a job, to not have something to eat, and we see those problems here, but they're really magnified in Uganda. And so one really nice thing is our Uganda affiliate can talk with our affiliates here, for instance at our international conference, and those ideas can be exchanged between those youth. And so it's really nice to be able to have that connection outside of the country.
Yeah. You know, and those best practices and understanding what others are doing is so vital to seeing success. You know, this program, the Youth Volunteer Corps of Alpena, is an international program as well. It's so close and near and dear to my heart because I was the volunteer director here before I took the executive director position with the Boys and Girls Club, and you know, being able to see, you know, the leadership and kids coming out of their shells and, you know, meeting business leaders in the community that they serve and being able to give back and, you know, having that lifetime ethic of service and is so vital, and it's so important to their development. And you know, for me to have, as an organization, to have support from you and from Youth Volunteer Corps is so important for, you know, the proliferation of our programs. You know, you all do such a great job working with, you know, the staff at the Boys and Girls Club, and I know with other staff throughout the country as well, and providing those resources to make them as successful as they can.
Well, thank you for saying that, but really it's about what the youth are doing and what people like you and the others at Boys and Girls Club and Youth Volunteer Corps are doing for these youth. And so if I can take just a minute to speak specifically about Alpena.
Please.
In the last 12 months, just in Alpena, the Youth Volunteer Corps has reached 208 youth, which was a really big increase from the year before. We only had 76 youth at that time. And 76 youth for a town this size is really great, but going to 208 is even better. And those 200 plus youth have served more than 5,000 hours in this wonderful community. And so you are seeing not only the community being changed by these youth, but you're seeing the change within the youth themselves. And what's really special about those youth being a part of the Boys and Girls Club, a lot of times the youth in the Boys and Girls Club are the ones being served, but not the ones being asked to serve. So when they are asked to serve, it changes their whole viewpoint about who they are and what they can do in the community.
Yeah, and I've seen that firsthand over the course of the last 20-some years working with young people. And it is such an eye-opening experience when a young person feels that support, maybe for the first time, you know, supported by the community, and seeing how, you know, their outputs can positively impact so many other people,
Right.
and then how that spirit just grows.
Absolutely.
It's pretty incredible. And you and what you're accomplishing with the kids is spreading that message throughout a much larger base than we can have just here in Alpena. So it's pretty incredible that we're part of something much bigger than ourselves, which is really the spirit of why we give back.
Yes, absolutely. And Alpena's program, I also wanted to mention this. Alpena's program is one of our strongest. We have 30 different YVC programs throughout the U.S., Canada, and Uganda. And Alpena has been strong since the start. We, a number of years ago, about 12 years ago, started doing an evaluation with a gold level certification. And Alpena's YVC program has gotten that gold level certification the very first year and every single year since. It's one of our strongest programs, and we're very, very proud of that program. And a lot of that has to do with your leadership. And I know this is not about you, but I do want to just recognize your leadership with that, because that's what's making this happen.
Well, it's not everybody has a sports team to play on too, and they need to be part of something. Right. You know, right. Even though the program does have kids of every walk of life and economic background, and you know, but it is amazing to be part of a team, you know, that wants to give back. And you know, when you're leading something like that and the charge, it's pretty cool that you're part of it even as an adult with these kids. But and
we really hope these youth are going to take that into their adult life. I mean, when we're creating this lifetime ethic of service, that's what we see, is when they enjoy that and understand how to be a part of that community and have that civically engaged mindset, then when they're an adult, they are still volunteering. It's
the goal, isn't it? Well, I thank you so much for your time today. I can't believe it's already, I say this every segment, but you know, you and I, obviously, we have a lot more conversations outside outside of this show. But you know, if anybody out there is watching and wants to know some more information about the Youth Volunteer Corps, how to be involved, please reach out to the Boys and Girls Club. I'll give you Tracy's contact information. Sure. But you know, but again, I thank you so much, my friend, for being here. It's been a wonderful visit to having you here in Alpena and seeing all the great things that are happening and letting us show off, you know, all the volunteer program.
Yeah. So, it's been fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you all for joining as we continue to endeavor the road of nonprofits in our wonderful community. Please stay tuned after the break for the ACC segment.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster, president of Alpena Community College, and I'd like to take our time together this morning to talk about an interesting week at ACC that we've had. Speaking personally, over the weekend, last weekend, I was downstate with family and the grandkids, and we had a lovely day at the Detroit Zoo. Highly recommended for you folks, especially with grandkids. And we were going through the park, and we came to a massive old beech tree that looks like it came out of Lord of the Rings. You know, it's just a massive, lovely tree, a lot of character in it. And there was a sign on it down along the bottom that said, it was an ancient Chinese proverb that said, when is the best time to plant a tree? And the answer to that question was 20 years ago. And then the second best time to plant a tree is today. So we've been planting trees on campus this week, and it's something I love to do. And there are a lot of trees on campus, so I'm not the only one who has that passion. But it starts with a lovely thing Dr. Henry Stibitz did many years ago. He planted some sugar maple, very small, smaller than saplings really, in an area that we have friends that have 2 hoops. and it's near our Electrical Power Technology Center. It's right on Woodward Avenue. And these trees were protected and grew well, sugar maples. And they tend to be a slow-growing but beautiful tree. And they were at the point where they should be transplanted. Well, we have across the street, just east of the Ruth Julian Hall of Health Sciences, Van Laer Hall, we have a sculpture, a stone sculpture, that talks about the history of Alpena. It's a very creative, well put together sculpture. And if you're driving down Johnson Street, you look to the left. If you're driving up Johnson Street from town and look to the left, you'll see it. And we've always wanted to complete it by planting trees alongside these massive stones. So one of the stones has a sugar maple already there, and it's just a beautiful tree. And its partner stone, we used Henry's best tree. We procured a spade so we could transplant the tree from where it was to where we wanted it to be. And so in the back two stones, we have two nice sugar maple, and one of them from Henry. Then, going with the theme of trying to use trees that are natural to the Alpena area, we went out to Netta's last week. Lovely spot for those of you who like nursery stock. Shout out to Netta. And we bought two white pine, which were about 4 feet high, and two white oak, which were about 12 to 15 feet high. And we brought those back, which was not that easy to do, but our maintenance guys, who are very talented in many ways, we got them back to Alpena, got them back to campus. So we spaded those in. And that left one last tree, and we were trying to think of what would be an interesting tree species to plant there. And of course, the college has quite a bit of property that runs north of Alpena campus. It runs all the way out to Hamilton in some cases, and between Woodward and 23. So there's an area behind campus that runs along the old railroad grade where the power line is. And I was exploring back there, and I saw 3 tamarack growing right by the path. And tamarack are a lovely tree, very interesting, native to the area. And I'm told by my ancestors that many of the old hip roof barns that are in this region, the timbers are tamarack because it was straight and hard. And they do grow straight. So it was a little tricky getting the spade back in there. But the maintenance guys did it, and they dug it out, and they brought it down Woodward and planted it next to the stone. So we have a tamarack, 2 sugar maple, 2 white pine, and 2 white oak. And I think it really sets that sculpture off. I'm pleased with it. And then the rest of Henry's trees, and there were probably 24 of them, close to it, we planted around campus. And some were down the driveway that extends between the college and Jesse Besser Museum, the Besser Museum. There's a spot where some trees could fit, so we put those remaining sugar maple in there, which I think is a nice spot. So every time somebody drives down that driveway, they can see some of Henry's trees. And the remainder of them we planted around the sculpture that's on Johnson Street, the Globe sculpture, one of my favorite spots on campus. So kudos to the maintenance staff at ACC, very sharp guys. They were able to figure out how to fit a spade on our Bobcat. spade out trees, got them on campus, and it creates a new life on campus. We follow the Chinese proverb, the second best thing to do is plant a tree today. And this is really part of an ambient learning project that the college began. Really it was something I really wanted to see done. And I'd seen it done well at other schools, most notably Lansing Community College, where a friend of mine, Dr. Brent Knight, had really transformed the feel and look of that campus, made it much more inviting, interesting, and appealing. So that's what college staff has been engaged in, both in the buildings and on the grounds for 9 years now, and we will continue to do it. And the intent is to make the space appealing to the community and to the learners that come to the college, and for them to pick up things and be inspired by what they see when they walk down our halls. So thank you all for watching Talk of the Town. We'll see you again next week.
This has been Talk of the Town with your hosts Bradley Summers and Dr. Don McMaster. For a list of community events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at WBKB11.com and click on our community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production, all rights reserved.